Judge reverses course, grants Oath Keepers access to Capitol after Trump grants clemency. CBS News. Judge reverses ban on Oath Keepers entering D.C. after Trump's clemency grant. Trump commutes sentences of over 1,500 January 6 defendants, including Oath Keepers and Proud Boys. Judge interprets commutation as extinguishing supervised release terms despite initial objections. Some January 6 defendants appear on Capitol Hill days after receiving commutation. The federal judge who presided over the seditious conspiracy trial of far-right Oath Keepers founder Stewart Rhodes rescinded an order that barred Rhodes and his company defendants from traveling to Washington, D.C. U.S. District Court Judge Amit Mehta said Monday, it would be improper for the court post-commutation to modify the original sentences, but because President Trump's clemency can reasonably be read to extinguish enforcement of defendants' terms of supervised release, the judge vacated his order. Mehta on Friday had ordered the Oath Keeper members Rhodes, Kelly Meggs, Kenneth Harrelson, Jessica Watkins, Roberto Menuda, Edward Vallejo, David Morchell, and Joseph Hackett to be barred from entering Washington, D.C., and the U.S. Capitol building without first obtaining the permission from the court. The decision prompted staunch opposition from Washington, D.C. Acting U.S. Attorney Edward Martin, who wrote that the defendants, including Rhodes, were no longer subject to the terms of supervised release and probation. Mehta, in reversing his decision, said he ultimately found Martin's interpretation of President Trump's unconditional commutation to be reasonable. Last week, as part of the mass clemency Mr. Trump extended to those tied to the Jan. 6 Capitol attack, he pardoned over 1,500 defendants, but opted to commute the sentences of Rhodes, his company defendants, and certain members of the Proud Boys group who were also charged with seditious conspiracy. Not all of those who received commutations were ultimately convicted of the seditious conspiracy charge. Days after receiving commutation, Rhodes and other January 6 defendants appeared on Capitol Hill. The judge wrote that while the parties initially operated as if the commutations addressed only the custodial portions of defendants' sentences but not their terms of supervised release, upon further review and in response to objections from the defendants, he found that once a commutation is issued for a defendant, they are required to take no further action, receive its benefit. It is not for this court to divine why President Trump commuted defendants' sentences or to assess whether it was sensible to do so, Mehta added.
If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and leave a comment below. See you next time.